Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today I'm doing another video. Now today I'm doing a requested video that was requested about a year ago, maybe 2 years ago. It was a long time ago, and I was scrolling on YouTube earlier because I was looking for some videos to do, and I had like a what if suggestion thingy. And someone commented, what if Emily never injured herself in season 2? Now, I don't think I've done this before, and I'm not sure if anyone else has done this. If they have, I've not watched their video. I don't know what their theories were. But this is my theory and my what if for what if Emily did not injure herself in season 2. So a quick backstory is that Emily injured her knee in season 2 in the semi-finals national dance. And that led on to her not being able to dance at internationals in season 3 and ultimately leaving the studio as a dancer. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about what if Emily didn't injure herself and how that led on to her role as studio head, etc. I mean, some of it's similar, some of it isn't. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of read what I've written and I'll explain why I've done that. So obviously, Emily didn't injure herself in the semi-finals routine, which meant that she was able to compete in the finals dance at nationals. So the whole reason Amanda was in the finals dance is because Emily couldn't dance. So if Emily could dance, that means Amanda could not prove herself to the team in the nationals finals dance. So that meant that when Elite and the Next Step merged in season 3, Amanda would still make it onto the team. However, it meant that she'd have to prove herself a whole lot more because the team obviously had no reason to trust her. I think this would be a very interesting concept because I think Emily especially would have been more questioned of Amanda, because obviously Emily saw Amanda scheming, and I feel like Emily wouldn't have trusted her as quick as she did when Amanda helped the team. So I'd be interested to see what Emily and Amanda's relationship would have been like in season 3 if Emily had danced at nationals. So Emily would have competed for her spot in the internationals team, but I don't think she would have made it because I have a theory that Emily would have picked up Riley's name, because I think Elite would have done a similar thing with James and Riley where they kind of diverted the crowd so they could change the names. But I think doing Emily and Riley would have caused a lot more pain to Riley and Emily because they're sisters. So I think if they did that, Emily would have done what James did and forfeited, because Emily's the older sister. And I feel like she would have wanted to protect her younger sister. So I would kind of see that happening. So Emily could not compete at internationals because she didn't get a spot on the team. So I feel like Emily would then go to Miss Kate and say, you know, I want to stay at the studio. Have you got a role for me? And this would lead to Miss Kate kind of making Emily a deputy studio head or a shadow studio head, or a mentor sort of thing like that, so she could learn how to run the studio, because then that would kind of flow nicely into season 5 when she becomes studio head, because then Emily has had like really good training from Miss Kate. So I feel like she would kind of have some leadership which was slightly above dance captain, but she wasn't like the studio head, if that makes sense. She was around and she helped, but she wasn't in charge. So I feel like when Chantel left, instead of like making James part of the team again, I feel like James would already be there. So Miss Kate would ask Emily if she would be happy to be the alternate for the team, because Emily's got this new role where if she was the alternate, she would have to learn the routines, but there wouldn't be as much pressure for her. So Miss Kate and Emily kind of came up with this agreement where Emily would still be part of the studio. She'd still be on a troupe, but she'd also have this extra leadership role to keep her busy when everybody was rehearsing. So I feel like that was definitely the right kind of route for her to go down. So she's kind of got the best of both worlds. She's training to be a studio head, she's dancing, so I feel like Emily would have been very happy with that outcome. So when Ella came to the Next Step, obviously we saw Ella come as the exchange student, and she seemed very nice to start with. You know, she was very nice to Riley, and then she saw her solo, so you know, we don't like Ella. Well, we do, because she proved herself, but you know, it's season 3, we did not like her at the end. So I feel like Emily would have sussed out Ella. She would have known Ella was up to something, especially because it was something to do with Riley. So I feel like Emily would have spoken to Ella, or she would have caught Ella doing Riley solo. And I don't think Emily would have confronted Ella about it, because she confronted Amanda in season 2, and that didn't work as well as it could have done. So I feel like Emily would have gone to Riley and said, you need to make a new solo. So they would have done that. But Riley would have kept rehearsing her old solo to fool Ella in some ways, because Ella obviously was trying to take down the Next Step in some ways. So when they got to internationals and Ella did Riley's solo, Riley still went onto the stage and did a completely different one. And I think Riley would have won, because I think Riley is a better dancer than Ella, and I think the routine was good at internationals, but if Riley had done the same routine, she would have won. So I think like Emily would have been protecting the next step and Riley in that situation. So I feel like that would have happened because Emily's good at sussing out people. Like, she is good at like knowing when people are up to mischief. So I feel like if anyone was going to work out the whole Ella stuff, it would have been Riley. So I feel like Talia would have became unwell in the finals dance at internationals because she kind of passed out from exhaustion from rehearsing too much or something. So that meant Emily needed to step in and help the team. So I think it would have been similar to when Michelle nearly stepped in the semi-finals. So Emily would have got ready. She would have been like, oh my gosh, I need to rehearse. I haven't done this very much. And she would have kind of rehearsed it with Riley and Michelle, that sort of thing. So I feel like I feel like Michelle would have been dancing somehow because, you know, why not? So I feel like it would have been cool to kind of see Emily scrambling and then a costume error because I think Talia and Emily like are a slightly different like height size. So maybe I think Talia's shorter. So maybe Emily's trying to fit into the costume. And she's like, oh my God, like Talia is shorter than me. I don't know if this is going to work, sort of thing. So there's a big scramble around trying to fix everything. But then ultimately, Emily goes onto the stage and she helps the team win internationals because I feel like regardless of who was dancing, the next step would have won because they were so strong. So I feel like that would have been a really, really big plot line that Emily finally got her moment to shine on the international stage. So after season 3, obviously we saw a lot of the next step leave, and I feel like she would have left as well to go to business school to strengthen her role as studio head and her understanding of how to run a studio, because I feel like Emily would have done everything she wanted to do in terms of dancing. I don't think she ever wanted to do a professional career. I think she maybe wanted to do like kind of like dancing competitively but then running the studio as her job. And then I feel like after that, season 4 to 7 would remain the same, apart from like she would maybe do some solos here and there instead of like not, because obviously if she's injured she couldn't do them. So I feel like Emily would do a few more emotional solos, maybe like during season 5 when the teams couldn't compete, she could do a sad solo like Michelle did. But ultimately it would stay pretty similar. I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like Emily would have been studio head even if she was a dancer. So that is kind of my reasons on why Emily kind of would have been dancing more and competing more if she didn't injure herself. So those are my theories on what if Emily never injured herself in season 2. So I hope you enjoyed this video and let me know your thoughts on my theories. And if you have any other what if suggestions, please comment them down below, because it's really fun diving into this and kind of going into alternate worlds and, you know, coming up with different theories. So if you've got any theories yourself, let me know because I'd love to read them. And I will of course make videos if you have any suggestions. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you very soon for another video. Bye guys.